Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please sit down. And then we are going to the part 2, morning academic session in this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now enter the first academic session. Session 1, focus on higher education leadership, experience of Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia.
We are proud to introduce our moderator, Professor Madya Dr. Dwi Santosa.
Our distinguished panel speaker is the first. Please take it. And then for our distinguished panel of speaker is the first is Professor Dr. Winay Dahlan, President of Muhammadiyah Foundation, Thailand.
Our second honorable panel is Professor Ahmad Muttaqin, SAG, MAG, MA, PhD, the Secretary of the Council for Higher Education, Research and Development. Please.
And then the third panelist, Assistant Professor Dr. Ahmad Omar Chapaki, as a Senior Vice Rector of Fatani University, Thailand. Okay, and then the fourth is Professor Associate Hoirudin Al-Zunid, Professor of Malay Studies, National University of Singapore. Please welcome our moderator and speaker for session 1.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for all audience today. We do hope that today's agenda, especially for our international seminar, can run very well. But the first time we would like to say condolence for the banjir, for the flood in Perlis. We do hope that everyone and every people in Perlis are in a good condition. So we do hope that all are here also very happy to have the situation here, although we have a little problem, especially when coming here. We should be picked up and then waiting for a moment, and then we have to go around. It's usually for about 30 minutes, and it can run like an hour. Well, the first time we would like to invite the first speaker here. We have 3 speakers for our discussion today. The discussion today is about Kepimpinan Pendidikan, the leadership in education, especially for the higher education, from the experiences from Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. Me, as the moderator, would like to mention one by one, especially for the very reputable speaker from Indonesia, from Singapore, Dr. Junaid, Singapore or Malaysia? Singapore, and Dr. Winay from Thailand. Okay, the first time I would like to introduce one by one for the speaker today. The first speaker will be Professor Dr. Winay Dahlan, President of the Muhammadiyah Foundation, Thailand. I'll give you a big applause to him. Okay, welcome, Professor. We do hope that you are going to give some experiences, especially for the education in Thailand. The second one will be Professor Dr. Ahmad Muttaqin, PhD. He is the Secretary of the Muhammadiyah Higher Education. He is also from University Islam Negeri Sunan Kalitaga, Yogyakarta. Give a big applause to Professor Dr. Ahmad Muttaqin. Okay, we do hope that Professor Muttaqin is also going to give some also information and also experiences based on the Indonesian education. I'm so sorry to say that Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Omar Chapakia cannot attend the international seminar today. We do hope that in the next time, probably we can have a meeting. Also, we have the session time with him. And then the fourth speaker, actually, we are going to invite Associate Professor Dr. Khairuddin Junaid. Okay, give a big applause to him. Okay, welcome, Professor. He is the Professor Malay Studies, National University of Singapore. So, Alhamdulillah, today we have three reputable and also internationally recognized speaker today that are going to give some experiences, especially for the education from their own countries like Thailand, Indonesia, and also Singapore. Okay, for this session, I would like to invite, so I would like to give 20 minutes for every speaker. So 20 minutes to have a talk because we have 1 hour and 30, so we have 90 minutes. So I think you have a lot of time to talk about the education in your countries. And then we do hope that the experiences from your country can be very beneficial for us all. Well, the first time, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Vinay Dahlan to give a talk for about 20 minutes. Time is yours, Professor. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah bil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala alafin nabiyyin wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I have to shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to giving me very great opportunity to visit this city. It's quite pity that there's some flood. At the beginning, I planned to drive from Hat Yai. That much bigger flood there. Anyway, I think we're going to have a very good time here. I will give some information according to the slide. My slide about the higher education, halal science technology. We established halal science technology under the higher education. This is a great benefit because there in the higher education institution, they are altogether the researchers, scientists that provide a very big advantage to the establishment of the Halal Science Center at Chulalongkorn University. I've been at the lecturer at the Chulalongkorn University for nearly 50 years. Still working there. I'm the founder and also the architect of the halal science to establish how to use science technology for assisting ulama for their halal certification. It's a very good news that heard about the halal center at Muhammadiyah University. Hope to have some collaboration in the future. When we discuss about the halal science technology, it's not only laboratory. Laboratory is just a small function. We also have the standardization. Now we implement ICT, AI, digital technology together. This is in order to reduce the cost of how to produce halal food and products. Okay, you have all mobile. Please scan QR code. Then you will have all of my slide because 20 minutes I cannot have enough time to present. Then read it from my presentation inside your mobile. Okay. Next slide. I'd like to show about the size of the halal economy for the current time. You see the iceberg on the left-hand side. 100% is around 13 trillion US dollar that are for the food and agricultural product. For Muslim, 24% of the Muslim population, apart from 8 billion, 2 billion of Muslim, 24 to 25%, but Muslim consume only 17%. And many people think that is the size of the halal economy. That's not correct. We have to consider also non-Muslim market that consume together halal like. That finally is increase the halal economy to be 7 plus 72 equivalent to nearly 90%. That's the size of the halal economy. If now you go to Europe, in the small village of non-Muslim, you'll find halal slaughter beef. You see, this is the way how grow halal economy. Okay, then we consider for the Muslim word is tap economy, tap halal economy. But for the non-Muslim section, we call it untap. Then finally, we have to combine together, tap and untap. Next slide. In the past, very easy to consume halal. We can consider this is all halal, but not now. Indonesia is a good case. In the year 2001, it's about the taste enhancer. You see, taste enhancer. Finally, they have INS 631. This is a chemical ingredient add. Nobody knows where it's from. They come from some part of the action of porcine enzyme. You see, finally, ulama of Indonesia fatwa that it's not halal after consume it for many decades. That's the big problem. But from our study, there's still 182 chemicals quite similar to that INS 631. It means that there's still a big problem available in the market. Yeah. And right-hand side, that's the case of the COVID vaccine. You'll find there's some percent of the porcine protein for the production of the vaccine. How can we help our ummah to escape from this kind of the problem? Next slide. Next slide. This is the way that we work. I established the Halal Science Laboratory in the year 1995. But 6 years after, there was a case of INS 631 happened in Indonesia. And after that, we tried to follow the case, and we found enormous amount of the haram available in the market. We have to use science technology, laboratory, together with the other kind of technology. But anyway, about the halal, this is the Sharia base. Then we have to follow Al-Quran. Ya ayyuhannas kulu mimma fil ardi halalan thayyiban. Allah command us to consume halal and tayyib. This is very crucial. When mean us, it's not only Muslim. Ya ayyuhannas, all mankind. Yeah. And some people ask me, Al-Ma'un is the inspiration for Muhammadiyah. For the halal sign, what's ayah that we use? This is Anna 116. You see, mentioned about that the one who judge this is halal, this is haram. They have to say precisely this is halal, it's not haram. Not try to cheat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If so, then they will not have any risky for that. This is very dangerous for ulama because they who judge this is halal or not halal according to the halal certification. This is very important. How can we protect them as the scientists? We have to help our ulama. Then another ayah, وَمَا أَزَّنَا قَبْلَكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُهِيَ لَهِمْ فَزَدُوا عَلَى الذِّكْرِ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. If we don't know, try to find the one who know. According to the industrial process, we try to find the industrial people, we try to find scientists, try to find technologists. You see, az-zikri, the one who know both sides, Sharia together with science and technology. If you don't have, produce them. Produce them. At that, the work for us, that ayah finally inspired us at Chulalongkorn University to produce halal scientists. You see, we use the concept of two AI. One AI, we all know, artificial intelligence. But for Muslim, another AI very important, actual implementation. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also asked us to work by our brain, by our hand. This is the actual implementation. Then let human being, the leader, according to Sharia, and use AI as the assister. You see, this is then AI, artificial intelligence, become AI tool in this concept. Next slide. For Thailand, now we have for the current government cabinet, they have the decision to produce, when we sell food product, it's not only Thai food product, it should be something like value added. This is the way. Then we combine with the food security for our client, food safety. For the food safety, halal is considered as the food safety. And now, as I mentioned, 90% for the world population, finally they consume halal. They have to be sure that they receive good safety halal from Thai product. This is our homework that we have to work closely with the government. Next slide. Next slide. This is Chulalongkorn University. We established a halal science laboratory in the year 1995. But the Halal Science Center finally is established according to cabinet resolution in the year 2003. Finally, we have the Halal Science Center there. Next. Now we have 4 offices. One office is in Pattani. At the beginning, I plan to fly to Hat Yai and join with the team from Pattani together with 2 of my brother to come by car. But because of the flood, they have to go via Penang. Anyway, we have the office in Penang, in Pattani, in Chiang Mai, the north. In Nakhon Nayok, we have the farm. Now we introduce green agriculture there, and we have the laboratory, 2,000 square meters with more than 200 scientific equipments, with the all Muslim scientists working there. Next slide. Okay, this is how we establish halal science technology in our laboratory for assisting the food industrial processes. Next slide. This is the lab. We introduced 4 parameters of the laboratory to assist for the investigating haram presence in our product. And our laboratory have ISO IEC 17025, the latest version. Next slide. Even more important than laboratory analysis is the halal standardization. We have a standard, halal standard, since 1997 by UN. But how to implement the standard into practice in the factory, because the majority of the food producers, they are non-Muslim. The halal standardization, this is very important. We developed the system that we call HALQ, Halal Assurance Liability Quality System, into 1,172 food factory countrywide in Thailand. You will see from this process, finally we have many awards from the government, from the international. And we also produce halal number in my hand. Next slide. This is halal number. I received the highest award from the Thai government. Next slide. This is we signed MOU with the OIC in Makkah Halal Forum. And this is how we organized. This is algorithm. All people listen very often about the algorithm, but should recognize that algorithm come from the Muslim scientists in the ancient time, Al-Khwarizmi. This is how we work until finally we receive innovation. Next slide. This is how we implement IT AI. You see, we separate our work into 2 phases. The human AI first, for the work in the industry, for the halal standardization, for the laboratory analysis. And the second part is about the digital AI. Finally, we have to combine artificial intelligence together with the work from hand of human being. Next slide. This is, we use mobile. Now very easy. You can find all information in our program. Halal route. Yeah, from there, you'll find halal blockchain all together with the H number in the factory. Finally, this is all free of charge, developed by the Halal Science Center, Chulalongkorn University. Now, I'm no longer director of the Halal Science Center. I pass all of my mission to the young generation. Finally, we found the foundation name Muhammadiyah for the honor of my Kiai Ahmad Dahlan. This is now I work for Muhammadiyah in Thailand. Next slide. This is okay. Okay, next slide. We received the award from the Prime Minister of Malaysia in the year 2006 and announced that our laboratory was the first halal sign organization in the world. Next slide. It was named for 17 years consecutively among 500 most influential Muslims by the government of Jordan, and received many awards. This is that, as the Mufti said, we bring our ummah to Jannah. This is the success, and we do together for all of that we have to avoid all of haram. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Professor Vinay for your very clear presentation, talking especially about halal sign in Thailand. Now we are going to invite the second speaker from Indonesia, from especially the representative from the higher education. Please, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Ahmad Mutakin. Time is yours. I'll give you 20 minutes from now. Thank you, Prof.
Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for Mr. Chairman who give me a very limited time, but I think that's enough. First of all, I would like to thank to the organizer who already invite us for this very, very important moments, in addition to the celebration of the 113th years of the Muhammadiyah and the 4th years for Umams. And you can imagine that sustainability for the organization is something that we have to consider every time. You can imagine that during 113 years, how many leaders already produced by Muhammadiyah? Because Muhammadiyah an organizations spread out around Indonesia. In every province we have, under the province we have in every district. Under the district we have in every sub-district. And even there is also organizations, what we call pimpinan rantings. It is in a village context. Thousands of leaders we need to produce in order to make sure that organization run well. In addition to that, Muhammadiyah also manage thousands of what we call amal usaha Muhammadiyah, aum. What is the better English translation for the amal usaha Muhammadiyah? Some profile just translated to Muhammadiyah enterprise sector in education or in health service and in many sectors. And in terms of the higher educations, right now, as you can see in this leaflets, Muhammadiyah Asia Higher Education Institution in number, right now we manage 164 higher education institutions. Some are under the umbrella of university, some are still in the polytechnic, some also in the what we call in Bahasa Indonesia sekolah tinggi or institute. It means that in every higher education institution under the Muhammadiyah, we need the leaders. And to make sure that all the higher education institutions run well and gain success, I will refer a little about the question from the Dato Mufti. What's the meaning of success? The meaning of success in the context of eschatology may be already explained by the Dato. But I will come to what the meaning of the success on the term of the university leader. Okay, that's the context. For that, we under the Council for Higher Education Research and Development, we create what we call leadership training. The leadership training program, it is a 1 week in-house training. We invite a new rector or new vice rector to come in one place, and we do training starting from a spiritual perspective, and then knowledge perspective, and also a managerial perspective. We start this program since 1917. I think some of the alumni of the leadership training are coming here. Please, some of the university rector or vice rector, para rektor dan para wakil rektor yang sudah lulus leadership training dari PTMA, silakan berdiri. Silakan Bapak Ibu. Nah, those are some of our alumni who are know, some are rectors, some are vice rectors. Okay, can I do this? Next. Can you help? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the leadership training. So the leadership training is a training model within the Muhammadiyah Aisyah Higher Education environment that continues to be developed both in terms of the curriculum and method as an effort to prepare the regeneration of Muhammadiyah Aisyah Higher Education institution leader to face future challenge. At the times, we know many changes in the university model and the university management we have to adopt to the current trends. For example, how we adopt to the AI, how we adopt to the disruption era. And because after we do some analysis on that, the university and other sector under the Muhammadiyah cannot be managed in a regular basis anymore. We have to create an atmosphere and also some insight for our leader to have the creative solution when they face a new challenge. Next slide. Yeah, so these are the objectives. The objective of the leadership training are in order to train the participant able to understand and evaluate the impact of change in an increasingly competitive higher education environments. And then second one, participants are able to actualize the basis values of Muhammadiyah and are able to build synergy with various elements within Muhammadiyah to develop the universities. And then the third, participants are able to apply leadership and management principles relevant to the development of higher education institution. And then fourth, participants are able to create a personal action plan to be implemented in their respective universities. So these are the main objective. For that, then we also have what we call leadership management training, LMT. Next slide. The leadership management training, it is designed to middle lower management in university. Wherever the leadership training, it is for the middle upper, rector or vice rector. For the leadership management training, it is usually for the dean, the study programs, what leadership, and also any unit in a university. The duration for the leadership management program usually 3 days, but for the leadership training, we invite them for at least 1 week. Next slide. Okay, let me explain this data. So overall, right now, if we look at the gender ratio, the leadership in Muhammadiyah higher education institutions, we have 87% are male rector, whereas 30% female rectors. So in terms of the gender equity, Muhammadiyah have very considered about not only to promote leadership in the university for male, but we consider to push the number higher and higher. And right now, from 164 rectors, 20 of them are female, or 13%. But if you look at the data from the vice rector, we have more vice rector from female, 28%, and for male, 70%. Next. Oh, this is among the activity. Okay. After that, and this is about the participant for the leadership training so far. We invited already 113 rectors and 332 vice rector. And the composition of the gender, we can see there that the participant from female, 27%, 120, and from male leader, about 73%. Yeah. So I think this in line with the policy from Indonesian government that they already have the parameter at least the participation of a woman in public leadership at least 30%. And Muhammadiyah among the civil organization in Indonesia always consider about the balance of this gender equity. Okay, right now the total alumni of the leadership training, we can see here from batch 1 until batch 11, the total number of our alumni already 445. That some of them already here, they are still on duty as the rector and vice rector. Next slide. Okay, these are some of the activity during the trainings. Next. Okay, next. Look for the training material. Next slide. Yeah, we offer many course during the trainings. Like if you can see here, we train the participant to understand about the self-analysis, how they are using psychological tool, whether they are actually psychologically fit to be a university leader or not. We believe that leader is not a nature. We believe that a leader is a nurture. That's why everyone can be a leader through learning, through training, through studying. Whenever we doing analysis that the participant are realize that psychologically I am not fit enough to be a leader, then we give them a tool how to transform themselves to be a right leader, to be a suitable leader in your duty now as a university leadership. And then we also offer them course like development of trusted and impact full university. This is to answer about what the meaning of the successful leader in university. One of the parameter we create as a successful rector, for example, it means that the rector that can give impact. Impacts in Islamic language, I think we call it like just a berkah. Berkah or ziyadatul khair. So whenever a rector, can give the benefit to not only for themselves, but also to their institutions, to their students, to their community, based on the parameter or KPI we already create. It means that's already be a leader or university leader, successful university leader, based on that parameter. That's why we give them course on how to develop impactful university, for example. And then we also offer them course on roadmap for development higher educations. And then we also give them material on synergy between secondary education and higher education. It is about to have a good ecosystem education, because Muhammadiyah already has thousands of school, ranging from SD until junior, senior high school, and we want to create like an ecosystem that after they finish, they hire senior high school, they can continue to our university. That way we collaborate them in one of the atmosphere. Not only in the context of in class, we also bring participants to campus tour. We ask them to visit to the Muhammadiyah University who already accredited excellence. So they can visit and then see what happened in, like for example, in Yogyakarta we have 3 universities and all of them already accredited excellent by the governments. So the participants from around Indonesia, they will visit to Ahmad Dahlan University, for example. And then Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta University, and then Unisa, and then also in Solo, and Magelang, and so on. So they can learn directly on the campus, dialogue to the middle, lower manager in their campus. And after that, we also invited them the forum for discussion. They discuss what they get from university they visit, and then we ask them to create what we call as action plans. Every participant of the leadership program, they have to action plans. They have to create an action plan, and then we will monitor the action in the future. Okay, next slide. This is just some kind of picture activity of them. Next. Okay, this is Pak Andi, Pak Bambang on the stage. The next. Okay, this is some activity, spiritual activity in the mosque. They discuss about the Islamic value, Muhammadiyah values, and then there also on the corner activity of outbound. From outbound, they can learn how to build synergy and team building with other participants. Okay, that's all my presentation about the experience to nurture university leadership programs under the Muhammadiyah network. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much from Professor Ahmad Mutakin, PhD, for the very clear explanation talking about the higher education, especially from Muhammadiyah perspective. It seems that Muhammadiyah has 164 universities in Indonesia. Probably that is the biggest organization having education in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, the rector and all participants today, now we are going to invite the third speaker and the last speaker for this presentation today. We are going to invite Associate Professor Khairuddin Al-Junaid, Professor Malay Studies, National University of Singapore. Time is yours, Professor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I'm invited for this very interesting conference to speak about the experience of leadership in higher educational institutions in Singapore. But I want to begin first with a caveat. Berarti saya nak kata sikit yang Singapura ni agak berbeza daripada negara-negara yang lain. So I want to begin with that Singapore is a very, very small country, is an island, but it is also the most developed country in the whole of Southeast Asia, and it is not an Asian country. Singapore is actually a Western country. We are very Western, and Muslims are minorities in the country. So we cannot talk about Islamic universities. We have College Islam Muhammadiyah, but it is not a full-fledged university. So we cannot talk about the experience of Islamic universities in Singapore. So I want to begin with that. Secondly, as you all are duly informed, NUS, where I'm from, National University of Singapore, is ranked right now number 8 in the world. Right? It's one of the top universities in the world. And there are many reasons why NUS is the top university in the world. One of the reasons is that the budget that is given by the government to NUS is the budget of all universities in Malaysia. Right? NUS is given $1 to $3 billion a year. When I was in University of Malaya, the University of Malaya only received at the most in 1 year only 100 million ringgit. Right? So we cannot compare apples and oranges or apples and eggs. So I'm not going to talk about Singapore. It's a waste of time for today's session. But I'm going to share about my experience being in Georgetown University, being in Columbia University, being in Brunei. I've taught in Brunei. I've also taught in University of Malaya. And I want to share with especially the leadership of UMAM and also the leadership of Unisiraj and other university leaders here. Bapa is also managing so many universities in Indonesia. I was a visiting professor in UMY before, University Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. I was also a visiting professor in Undip University di Ponorogo. So I've seen Indonesian universities, Malaysian universities, American universities. I graduated from a British university and teaching in a Singaporean university. So apa yang saya nak kongsikan pada hari ini, dah cakap bahasa Indonesia pula ini. What I'm going to share are some principles that I feel universities in Malaysia should, and also in Thailand perhaps, should consider in you trying to propel your university into becoming a global university. And this is where the American and also the Singaporean experience is interesting and important. The first thing we need to take note of is, in most developing countries, they have fully embraced the fact that we are living in what they call as Industry 4.0. What is Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 means that every learning and teaching must be acquainted with big data, advanced robotics, simulation, integration, AI, cloud computing, and augmented reality, which means that if you want your university to go forward into the future, you must first embrace high technology. If not, you can go nowhere. Let's forget about the QS and the Times ranking. If you don't have or you don't embrace Industry 4.0, you will never catch up. I begin with that. To embrace Industry 4.0, you need few more things. Okay, so we're going to go through it one by one. Pertama, sorry, I will speak a little bit of Malay and a little bit of English. هل يجب أن تحدث اللغة العربية يعني اللغة المحمدية or something? I better speak Thai, only know Sawadika. Okay, so other than this whole idea of embracing Industry 4.0, for us to move forward as Islamic universities, the first thing you need, and here we can learn from non-Muslim university, and I've spoken about this in University Islam Selangor, is we need what is called in Malay as pentadbir intellectual, what we call in English as scholarly administrators, which means that when you appoint your rector, your deans, and your heads of departments, they must be intellectuals. They cannot only be administrators. The problem with most Muslim universities that I have gone to is that when you appoint your dean, your rector, your heads of departments, they are people that know other people, not the people who can think. This is the crisis of Muslim universities. We do not nominate the people who can think the best for the university. Kalau di UMY mereka panggil Muhammadiyah Mata Biru, betul tak? Muhammadiyah Mata Biru, blue-eyed Muhammadiyah. That means someone who knows somebody from Muhammadiyah get to be a university leader. No. In Singapore, darah biru, mata biru. In Singapore, in Japan, in the UK, in the US, it doesn't matter who your father, your uncle, your grandfather is. What matters, like our the grandchild of Kiai Dahlan, he is a respected scientist. That's why he can become the head of the university. So that is the first. Berarti administrator juga harus menjadi intellectual. And that's why Singapore can go far. Because to be the head of the university, you must be the best thinker in the university. That's number one. Right? So just now, we hear from Dato', belum Dato' lagi from Prof. Saidul. He wants Dr. Sony to head the university. I second the idea. Because what we need is someone who's intellectually looking into the future and knows AI and knows the technology, because this is the way to go into the future. That's the first. The second is the people that you appoint as part and parcel of your university community. When NUS wanted to move from a teaching university into becoming a global university, in 1 year, NUS fired 200 staff. Dibuang kerja. 200 dalam 1 tahun. Boleh tak? Bisa tak? Bisa kalau bahasa Indonesia. Can Umam sack 200 staff in 1 year? Of course, you don't even have 200 staff. Right? But this is the way to go. If you want the plane to fly, you have to throw away the baggage. That's the only way. If you are carrying all baggage that doesn't want to fly with the plane will go down. So you have to get the best of the best into your university and tell the worst of the worst to go to another university. That's what you got to do. There's no other way. How to get the best of the best to your university? How to bring people to Unisiraj? How to bring people to Umam? The best of the best will come to your university when you have the best library. That's why if you go to where I graduated from, the School of Oriental and African Studies, they have almost all of the great turaf of Islam in that university, which is managed by a non-Muslim. All researchers all over the world go to the SOAS library to find books of turaf, of Arabic books. Even Arabic books from India, written by Indian ulama, is found in so west. So this is the message for Umam and for Muhammadiyah University. When I visited a university in Kedah, I don't want to mention the name of the university, the first thing that I saw was a problem is the library. The big universities all over the world all have the best libraries. NUS is one of the largest library in the whole of Asia. You can find anything. If you go to London and go to British Library, the British Library has all the books in the world. When I was doing my book on Pak Hamka, buku Pak Hamka yang ditulis oleh Hamka pada zaman 30-an ada di Cornell Library tapi tiada di Indonesia. Can you imagine? The book written by Hamka is found in Cornell, but you cannot find it in Indonesia, which means if you want people to come, you build your library. Your library is the start of everything. And all big universities in the world put millions to build the library, to bring in staff who knows when they come to the university, they can do research. They can have access to JSTOR, to online resources. Everything is there. And this is what NUS has been doing. And of course, to have all of these good facilities, kita harus hidupkan apa yang dipanggil sebagai wakaf ilmu. We already started it in Singapore, but Singapore, when they talk about wakaf ilmu, it's for another purpose. I don't want to get into it. If not, I cannot go home to Singapore tomorrow. But I just want to say, when I say wakaf ilmu, we must have a wakaf where companies can invest in that wakaf to build your university. NUS established Yale NUS. Now it's already closed down. When NUS established Yale NUS, NUS corporate office goes everywhere. They call themselves professional beggars, pengemis professional, to ask donation from companies and from alumni. And they raised more than 90 million Singapore dollars. And this is what Muhammadiyah must do. You must go to banks, to companies, to corporations, and I've been telling this to universities in Malaysia, even to IIUM. I'm now with IIUM. We must have this wakaf ilmu. This wakaf ilmu is an endowment fund where you put it in the bank, kalau boleh bank Islam, and from the money, for example, I was in Georgetown University. Georgetown University established Al-Walid Center for Muslim-Christian Understanding. Al-Walid gives 20 million. Malaysia gives 10 million. 30 million, put it in the bank. The bank gives a dividend of say 10%. That 10% pays for the salaries of your staff. The 30 million is still there. Tak digunakan langsung. You don't even use it. And this is what we need to do. Wakaf ilmu so that rich people, and I can see some rich people in the crowd here today, they will give money to build your university to ensure that your university has what we call as sustainability. You cannot run a university with school fees. Your fees cannot pay for your university. Your fees can only pay for the most 50% of your operations. The next 50% will only come from this endowment. And that's why NUS is powerful. Now, the government has declared they will not help NUS and give the $1 billion. NUS has to generate its own income. How do NUS generate its own income? Easy. Just ask all the banks, all the donors to put in money. One donor that put in money was Mr. Mukhtar Riyadi. You all know Mukhtar Riyadi? Mukhtar Riyadi is a multi-millionaire, maybe he's even a billionaire, who wants his son to study in NUS. So how does he make his son study in NUS? He built an entire building in business faculty. Then his son comes to NUS. So why can't we do that? Why can't Muslims do that? We have to learn from this model and establish Wakaf Ilmu. Unisiraj Wakaf Ilmu. All Muhammadiyah University must have this. endowment, and of course, last but not least, and I've been saying this in so many forums in Malaysia, please do not follow the tide of all of these ISI and Scopus KPI. This is a false neoliberal agenda. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I still publish in ISI and Scopus journals. Until today, I still publish in these journals. But the problem is, all of this KPI has resulted to a lot of cheating and not the production of experts. Why? Where I graduate from, the School of Oriental and African Studies, the ranking of my university is 398. 398. The ranking of University Malaya is 102 in the world. Maybe now they already gone up to 68. If you have a son, you want to send him to UM for PhD or School of Oriental and African Studies, you will send him to SOAS. Why you send to 398, not 100? Because you are looking for experts. Orang Melayu panggil mencari ketokohan. You don't build experts from ISI and Scopus. You build expertise from knowing your field in the deepest way possible. And this has always been my appeal to Malaysians. Doesn't mean that you publish a lot that you are respected in your field. If indeed ISI and Scopus is the mark of measure of a scholar, then Hamka is a failure. What is his ISI and Scopus? No. Then Maududi is a failure. Then Al-Albani is a failure. Then Bin Baz is a failure. Then Wahbah Zuhaili is all of them are failures. So this is kita ni tersesat jalan. Kerana kita ditipu oleh arus neoliberal. And I am combating against this right now to tell everyone here in this room, build your expertise. If your expertise is halal science, like our good professor here who is the grandchild of Kiai Dahlan who understands specialization, you must deepen your specialization. If you are respected, any journal, whether it's the top ISI journal in America or Britain, will publish your work. Where I graduated from, there is this scholar whose name is Professor Abdul Halim. Professor Abdul Halim is an expert in the Quran. If you ask him any verse of the Quran and tell him to read it terbalik, to read it in reverse, he can read it in reverse. He has photographic memory. He is an expert only in the Quran. That's all. Nothing else. And this is what we need to build. From specialization, we then build interdisciplinary collaboration. An expert in hadith can collaborate with an expert in halal science. An expert in the Quran can collaborate with an expert in ecology. This is how you build. Not work with someone whom you don't even understand their specialization and then just come up with articles that you also don't understand. And we must avoid this. We must build this specialization through wakaf ilmu, through understanding the true purpose of our universities, and then we can build good Islamic universities, first starting with Perlis, the whole of Malaysia, the whole of Indonesia, insyaAllah the whole of the Muslim world. Aqulu qawli hadha, wa astaghfirullahal azim li wa lakum. Assalamualaikum.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Associate Professor Junaid, from the very nice and very insightful presentation talking about higher education, how to be number one. It's not only from Scopus, WOS. No, we are combating on that. But the problem is that we are dilemmatic, especially from Indonesian sides. To get a professor, then you have to publish in any Scopus. Otherwise, you won't be a professor. That's a problem. And the problem is about cheating also. Yeah, agree about that because like what you mentioned now. Okay, give a big applause to all presenters today. From the very insightful. So I would like to give time especially for the audience to give a question to the three presenters today. Okay, I would like to invite three question, three question. Okay, please mention your name and also from your institution. Okay. Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, sila. 3 question. Okay, please stand up, sir, and mention your name and from your institution.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dwi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
I'm Rido. I'm the first semester of PhD student of UMAM. Well, I think all of you were giving us blown up our mind about the future of education. Especially the last presenter, that that's a very dilemmatic for scholar. To be professional, we should publish in Scopus or in WAS. So we, as a Muhammadiyah universities or Muhammadiyah institution, has 146 and more probably for the next future. So is it possible for Muhammadiyah has a global standard, just like against the liberal standardizations to be scholars? Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice question, Pak Rido. From where, Pak Rido? He is one of our student in UMAM. Okay, I would like to give time to Professor Junaid to answer the question. Okay.
Yes. Radiyallahu anhum wa radu anna. Pak Ridho. Again, I want to repeat. I am not saying that you should not publish in Scopus and ISI. I am saying that you need to build your specialization first. Because if you are specialized, you are respected in the field. If you are respected in the field, that means that you know your field very, very well. When you know your field very, very well, anything you write, even if you write on a tissue paper, somebody will publish what you are writing. And this is my point, right? This is the problem now. Kita tidak membina ketokohan. Kita hanya bina orang yang pandai tulis kertas kerja saja. This is the problem. We're not building expertise. Now back to Muhammadiyah. Like I said, I've gone to Muhammadiyah Solo, I've gone to Muhammadiyah Malang. In fact, when I went to Muhammadiyah, I was a visiting person in Muhammadiyah Malang, in UIN Malang. I went there, instead of asking me for my expertise, they asked me whether I want to get married there. Can you imagine? When I go to Malang, Malang sekali harus saya bernikah di sana. But what I'm saying here is that Muhammadiyah, one advantage of Muhammadiyah is that you have critical mass. You have so many universities, which means that you can build your own expertise ecology. This is what Muhammadiyah has not done. Berarti, if you have muhaddithin, you must have a database of all of the muhaddithin within the Muhammadiyah University, and then you work together amongst yourself. I don't see this happening. If you have someone who is an expert in halal science, in all your 40 universities, build a network of halal science experts. Then work together. Then discuss together your expertise. Then you can write articles, books, and everything else that will be recognized globally. The problem with Muhammadiyah University so far is that they are working in silos. Berarti mereka bekerja hanya sendiri, mendiri. Now you must build that integrated network, not only the network of rectors, but the network of experts. And we don't have that. We don't have that in Malaysia too, right? In Malaysia, there are how many universities in Malaysia? 25 public universities, and then so many other private universities. There's not even a network of engineers. There's not even a network of religious studies scholars. You know why there cannot be a network of religious studies scholars in Malaysia? When there's one good religious studies scholar, everybody will attack him. This is the problem. This is the problem that we have amongst us Muslims. In non-Muslim countries, even in Singapore, when you have one scholar that is good, everybody wants to build a network around him or her. So we need to build that, right? Now, give me just one more minute. The other thing, Reda, that we need to take note of is that specialization doesn't happen when you have your PhD. This is something that people now misunderstand. I give you the analogy of a soccer player. because I play soccer and I like to watch football. Untuk menjadi seorang soccer player yang terunggul, to be a good soccer player, you enter into the academy, the soccer academy at 9 years old, right? You must play soccer for 10 years to understand your position. That means at 19 years old, then you know whether you are midfielder, defender, goalkeeper, or a striker. Then you need another 10 years in order for you to be the best of the best. That means from 9 until 29, you are building your specialization. One scholar by the name of Richard Bulliet from Columbia University studied, and he used computer to study the number of years that muhaddithin in the past took to become a muhaddithin, to become muhaddith. And he found in his studies, the same is it with soccer, dengan bola sepak, dengan football, that a muhaddithin needs a sustained study of 20 years to be a muhaddithin. Berarti, habis PhD, you only studied for how long? For 4 years. How long more can you become an expert? Another 16 years of sustained study in one field. Itu sebab kalau kita lihat ulama dahulu, mereka tak tukar-tukar bidang. Imam Syafi'i is known as a faqih. Imam Bukhari is known as muhaddith. Because they are specialized in one field, that's why they can jump to other fields. Not that they are like people in the kedai kopi who jump one field after another, and then they are not recognized in another. So we must build our expertise for a good 20 years for us to be recognized, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice explanation. Okay, two more question, please, because we are going to finish in at 12 o'clock. So, okay, please. Lorraine is she is the first batch of our student in Umam, and inshallah she is going to finish in 2 years plus 1 day. Amin.
Thank you, Dr. Dwi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to ask, firstly, I would like to say thanks for the presentation. Such an honor for me to ask about this question. To Professor Dr. Vinay Dahlan, the President of Muhammadiyah Foundation, Thailand. This question might be slightly in line with my current PhD research on halal and Islamic tourism. I would like to ask about, based on your halal site tech framework, especially Halki, H number, and Halal Route app, how do you see these halal verification technologies enhancing Muslim tourists' trust and eventually strengthening their intention to revisit to destination? Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much for the question to Professor Vinay related to halal. Is it right? Yes. Okay, yes. Prof.
Thank you for your question. About the halal route, we mentioned about the application of halal route. This is for the tourism. For the tourism.
Yes.
We initiated first the halal route because it comes from the Malaysian biker who traveled to Thailand and finally met me in Krabi. Met me and then they know me. They asked why it's so difficult to find halal restaurant. Then finally we listened to their problem and we think that we better for that moment. We better develop application for tourists. Then we develop, but it must give even more information than other application. For example, that when you use our halal route, finally you can find the next restaurant in the next destination. Yeah, exactly with the touristic destination and so on, and the masjid nearby. And in the application, you find the best place for solar, even for wudu and so on. And finally, we try to use the benefit of the consumer. And then we develop that first. But the halal age number and so on, they come after. They come after. It's come from the complaint from the user of the application. You see, this is we try to benefit. We have to listen even more. Listen to the user of the application. Finally, they ask about the ingredient and so on, about the industry. And then when they went to the restaurant, they found some product, request about the source of the product together with the industry. And then finally we follow and try to answer all of the question. And finally it come from the other application. You see, this is the way that we work. I think this is very important that we have to listen so much about the complaint from other. One thing that we found even in the class of the university, our students did not ask often. Islam always thought about the tahqiq, not so much about ta'lil. Tahqiq, we have to confront, we have to ask, we have to debate. This is finally is disappear from our culture, our society. And then we had to bring all of this back. We use the tahqiq to develop our application. This is the way. Yeah. It's time. So.
I can see, Professor.
And
Thank you.
then if you like to have the collaboration, then you're welcome to the Halal Science Center in Chulalongkorn.
Thank you
you're
very
welcome.
much, Professor. Thank you.
Then we can discuss about how to continue and also how to develop our available program that we have.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think one question to Prof. Mutakin. Is there any question especially related to higher education in Indonesia? Okay, please stand up, Bu. Okay, mention your name from your institution, please. Okay, we have. Can I ask especially for the committee organization of? We need 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Thank
Bu.
you very much. We want to say thank you very much. Baik. The presentation on leadership management training today is very interesting. So now is a great opportunity to ask you, for Ahmad Mutakin, how can leadership skill be effectively improved within an organization? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The question to Prof. Mutakin about how effective is the leadership program for the leadership training. Okay, please, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much for Ibu Waudi. Ibu Waudi is the director of Muhammadiyah Buton. Bu Waidi, angkatan berapa kemarin leadership trainingnya? Angkatan ketiga, yes, batch 3. Batch 3 in 2020 or 19? Tahun 2019 atau 2020? 19, sure. Yeah, if the question is how effective is the LT based on the testimony, I think I have can you show my presentation? And this is the testimony from the participants. And please go to the slide. Next. On the evaluation. Next. Next. Nah, okay. We can see here from the data. Okay, next. Yeah. About the activity schedule and then about the code of conduct implemented, attendees. Some of the response from the participant side 100% effective. Next slide. It's about the relevance of the materials. Even training material, they said 100% is suitable for their career. And based on our evaluation, some of the university who gains the excellence accreditation from the governments are mostly coming from the graduate, the leader of the leadership training. So based on the testimony and the KPI they get, I think it is very effective. That's why, in addition to the leadership training for 6 days, we also offer leadership management trainings. So whenever the rector, they get insightful experience, then they propose to us, please give us also the same training, but in shorter periods. And we develop what we call as the leadership management trainings. Thank you, Bu Wayude, as one of the, I think, excellent alumni.
Okay.
Please please stand up all the women rector.
Okay, please the woman rector
from
semua
the
berdiri, ibu-ibu.
Education.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we
So,
now, yeah, all of them are alumni of our training program.
okay, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for the very nice presentation today. Alhamdulillah, especially for Prof. Vinay, Prof. Mutakin, and Prof. Junaid for the very clear and nice presentation. We do hope that the presentation today will be, will have something very beneficial, especially for you all, and can be also be applied to Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia also. Thank you once again. Give a big applause to all the presenters today. Well, as a moderator, I would like to say thank you for all the participants. I would like to apologize if there are some mistake within my leading of the presentation today. Now, I would like to time to the MC. Time is yours. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, big applause for the session satu, for moderator and all keynote for today. So good for information.